So there's all these talking heads that get on TV and they say, like, well, we have to stop Trump before we get to the point of a recession. And they never finish the sentence. How? I'm legitimately asking you, how do we stop Trump from throwing us into a recession? With the acknowledgement that the rest of the world is not coming in to save us, they're busy making trade deals with everybody else around the world. As soon as they can, they're getting out of almost every contract with the US that they can. I'm assuming Mexico is doing the same. I know for sure France and England are doing the same. Because the thought process is, they put the tariffs in, they mess with the stock market, they cut Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, disability benefits, WIC, SNAP, like anything they can touch and they can cut, even if they only reduce it by a quarter, they're going to. Which ultimately means everything we, the 99%, buy will be 50 cents or 50% more expensive because there's like 25% tariffs, but then there's the bullshit fees. So as we spend 50% more every year for the foreseeable future, the 1% get richer, the 1% get even richer every time the stock market goes up and down. We get poorer. There's at least a quarter of the country that no matter how poor they get will just fully believe that it's not Trump doing it to them. It's clearly Biden, Hillary, and the ghost of Thomas Jefferson. But absolutely all these talking heads get onto television and say, well, we don't want a recession. If people get to that point, it's going to be terrible. Well, yeah, for people who lived through 2008, it was terrible. Nobody's going to pretend it wasn't. But if you're going to say something like, we should stop it, how? Please stop just saying stupid things and not giving the answer. Well, we should move Pluto closer to Earth. Why? Why? If you're going to say something, give an explanation. Trump owns the Supreme Court. He owns the Congress. He owns the Senate. He owns the House. There's not a governing body that he doesn't control, and there's not an agency he hasn't stripped. I mean, he left the Secret Service alone, but in fairness, seeing how they've been guarding him in the past few years, I wouldn't say that you could cut much more. But there's nothing stopping him, and all the other politicians are so scared shitless of him that they dare to speak up. All it would take is, some senator, I don't know, Bob Boberson, decides to stand up and actually call Trump on his bullshit publicly with receipts. All Trump would have to do is tweet out once, Bob Boberson isn't a good American. Bob Boberson would be dead by the end of the day because that's what Trump's stand by and stay aware crowd knows to do. So explain to me how exactly we stop Trump from throwing us into a recession and just making sure the 1% holds all the money. Or stay off television because you're not helping anybody. Short of a French Revolution American style, so like the Kraft Slices version of the guillotine. How? Because nobody's ready for a strike yet. I mean, maybe a day, maybe a week of not buying Amazon. This country is certainly not ready to sit down and do nothing for 7 days, which is basically what it would take. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. No gas, no internet, no electricity. Or if you have to, bare minimum. No takeout, no pre-buying, no answering work emails. Let MAGA go to work and do it. We're not there yet. We're at least another 8 to 12 months away from that. There will come a point when, what remains of the Republican Party, Democrats and liberals, will all hit such a pain point that the thought of losing our job or our health insurance, if we still have either, hurts less than our current situation. And we would have to be a year into the recession to have that happen. So to everybody whose hopeful suggestion is getting on TV and be like, well, we have to stop Trump. How?